Hi, everybody. It's Elizabeth Chance, host of Busy Living Sober. Today's episode for Monday, September 22nd, 2024. The volume is a little messed up, so you're going to have to turn your volume all the way up to hear me, but I promise you it's a great episode. Listen, let me know your thoughts. And until next time, keep getting busy, living sober. Thanks. Time is flying by, isn't it? So I've been away. I'm up north. It's cold, hence I'm wearing a sweater. And wow, life is so crazy. Do you ever see things and you're like, oh my gosh, is this really happening? Was that just a sign? Was that fate? Or was that a God wink? What was that? Why did that thing just happen? It's so crazy. So my favorite number, for some reason, is 47. I don't even know where it came from, why it happened, but when I would tell my story since the beginning, since like 18 years ago, I used to tell my story at meetings and stuff, and I'd be like, you know what? I didn't have one drink, I had 47. Now, as time has gone on, my son played lacrosse. Guess what his number was? 47. My son played football. What was his number? 47. It happens to me all the time. 47, 47, 47. And with the house that I'm renting right now is number 47. I had no idea. What is that? Is that a God wink? Or is it fate? Or is it a sign that I'm doing the right thing? Or is it just mean nothing? It's just random. It's just a coincidence. What do you think? I think that it's a sign. You know, I question all the time. I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but I question all the time, am I doing the right thing? Is this thing that I'm doing smart? Is this what I should be doing? Or should I be doing something different? But then you get these signs along the way that say, you're on the right path. You're on the right path. I like to call them God winks. I like to say, you know what? There's no other excuse for it. I must be on the right path. I haven't been away from my husband in a while, I guess since April when I went to Medjugorje. And here I am away from him on a mini girls trip. And it's like so many miracles are happening around me. And it's like I can't even stop and pinch myself. I just think, wow, this happened, that happened. And there aren't any excuses for it. Do you ever realize, like, when you say yes, I'm going to try that. Yes, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to say no, even though I'm so scared. I don't know if I want to do it. And then I say, okay, I'm going to do it. And you do it, and everything works out better than you could ever imagine. And sometimes you don't even really have any expectations. I had no expectations on this trip whatsoever, just that, we all stayed sober. That's it. That's always my wish, because if I'm not sober, then I have nothing. And so far, so good. It's been great. And it's been eye-opening to see how many gifts are around me at all times. And where I am, the leaves are starting to change. It's beautiful. It's actually going to happen again in 2 weeks. I'm going to go to Vermont next. And but I go back to Florida and then go back to Vermont. But, my real title for today is embracing where you are, loving where you are. It's so crazy. It's being away. It's beautiful and everything else. But is there any better place than home? Like when you leave and you go somewhere else and you don't have all the stuff that you like, all the comforts you have in your life, you're like, what is this? I don't have my this. I don't have my that. Oh my gosh, I forgot this. I forgot my hairbrush. Can you believe it? I did. Luckily, there's a store here. But still, you just think, well, when you're at home and you go out at home, you don't ever forget anything. So vacations are wonderful, but going home is even better, I think. Am I getting old or what? And it's nice that I have a home, and I'm so grateful for that. And I know so many people these days don't have a home. So having a home and a place to put your hat and put your stuff and know where everything is just so, wow. Sometimes we take that for granted, especially living in America. I mean, more and more today we see homeless people. Like I'm actually in New York. I'm just going to tell you, I'm out on Long Island in New York, but I flew into JFK, and wow, It's so changed. I had another God thing happen. I was on the train from the airport to the rent-a-car place, and there was this older woman, and she's like, "Oh, where are you girls from?" And I said, "Well, we're from Florida." She's like, "Where?" I said, "Delray Beach." She's like, "Oh my gosh, you're so lucky. You live in the best state with the best governor." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so lucky." It's so funny. Today, my son and I actually had this conversation because so many people like to tell me how lucky I am. You're so lucky that you have your husband. You're so lucky you have this. You're so lucky you have that. Is it luck or is it hard work? My son tends to think it's hard work and making hard decisions even though they're not comfortable. Do you ever feel that? Like, I'm going to make these decisions that become apparent to me. I've got a decision. Am I going to take a job in a different city? Am I going to go and move to the place I've always wanted to move to? Am I going to finally do that? Or is it too scary? And the fear totally is like what takes over is the fear. You're like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I like where I live. I don't want to change it. I don't want to change it. I can tell you from moving, I think I've lived in 5 or 6 places in Florida in the past 6 years. And finally, I found my nest. It took me a while to find it. But it's not luck. I just get into a place that I'm not comfortable. And I'm like, I have to move. I have to move. And I don't have any friends there. I don't have meetings. I don't have any of my comfort stuff that I normally have. But I go and I build it. Do you ever build your stuff that you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to build this. I'm going to make a change. I'm going to do something that I've always wanted to do, but I haven't been able to do it because I haven't had the courage. Get the courage. Do it. Do something that you've always wanted to do. And don't be like, oh my gosh, I can't do it because I'm scared. Or you let some other reason get in the way because it's something you really want in your heart. If you go and you do something and you don't like it, you can always go back to where you came from. But if you don't experience something new, how are you ever going to learn something new? Like so many people like to hang out with the same people all the time. They go, when I moved to Philadelphia, I thought it was so weird. I'm like, all the people live in the same town and then they go to the same beach town. I mean, they're all together all the time. There's no variety. I mean, I guess some people like that and it's exciting for them and I don't poo-poo it. It just wasn't for me. Does that make them bad? Me good? No, it's just different. It's so interesting because I love to see and meet all different kinds of people everywhere I go because I'm open. I'm open to taking it because what's the worst thing that could happen? Excuse me. What's the worst thing that could happen? I think the worst thing that ever happened to me was being an alcoholic. I mean, not the worst thing because I'm really happy that I am one and that I'm actually, living on the other side of it. But right now, I have so many people around me that are battling this disease. It's so cunning, baffling, and powerful. It's been really hard. I think I talked about it last week, and I did. I have a friend that, is finally getting some help, and I'm so happy that that person is. And I have another person that has very short-term time of not having a drink. And, the family unit of what they do with alcoholics is really, really hard. Like people are not educated to the fact that this is not a moral dilemma. This has nothing to do with your morals being an alcoholic. But your family expects you to be like this. And you get caught, excuse me, and you get caught in this little cycle of constantly focusing on the past or constantly focusing on the future. And you can't be in today. It's really hard, right? So as the recovering alcoholic, you have that. You have the past and then you have the future. And then you have your loved ones that if you go to treatment, they think, oh, you're going to be fixed within 30 days. That's not true. It takes a lot of time and a lot of work. And I don't mean like work like pushing a boulder up a mountain. I mean inside work, like realizing that all that stuff that happened, the trauma, the hurt, everything else with the help of a counselor, a sponsor, working through the steps, all of those combined together will help you move forward in your life. And your family sometimes doesn't want to forgive you. They want to hold grudges towards you. They want to not invite you to certain events. They want to shame you. They want to belittle you. They want to be rude to you. They want to be, it's so hurtful. It is so hurtful. And I've been watching it literally in real time the last week. And it's so crazy. And family members that are already in their addiction, and then they think, oh, I'm going to send this person to this place. It's really expensive. It's going to work. Okay, come on, guys. I think that it's the person that's trying to get sober. It isn't the place that's going to get you sober. It's being in the place that you're ready to change, that you're ready to grow, that you're ready to put down the drink and do the work and start realizing what's going on with you. Peel back that onion in your heart, and you might not be able to get many peels off in the beginning. It might take you years. It took me years, decades, a long time to get to where I am today. I look back and I think, gosh, I had to walk through this, I had to walk through that, I had to get this hurt, I had to get that hurt, I had to get this great thing happen, this other fabulous thing happen, but then I had to fall down again, and then I pick myself up. No matter what, I don't drink. But it's staying in the process. It's work. It's finding the tools that work for you. What are the tools that you have in your toolbox? Who are the people that you call when you're like, oh my gosh, my life's on fire. Can you help me? And a lot of us don't have a lot of friends like that, because a lot of people want to judge everybody else. If I judge you, then I don't have to deal with me. If I take care of you, I don't have to take care of me. If I do this, I don't have to take care of me. There's so many excuses we can have not to work for ourselves. But getting to this place that you're like, you know what? I can go anywhere and I can be anywhere I need to be and stay sober. Because the key in my book is knowing that you have a relationship with a higher power, to which I call God. So God is the one that I lean on all the time. I just get these little winks, like the 47 where I'm staying as the house number, or just seeing a 47 when I need to. It's so crazy, and I don't even know where it came from. Do you guys, any of you have that? Do you have anything that you see and you're like, oh, this is a sign? You see a cardinal. I know someone that had a dime. I think it was a dime or a nickel, and they thought, oh my gosh, every time I see this dime, I know my loved one is in heaven and they're looking down at me. But if we set up the things to believe in ourselves, to say, you know what, I'm going to put this here, or I'm going to do this here, and I'm going to just trust that is just believe. Fake it till you make it, right? Find something that you can count on that says, oh my gosh, yes, I'm on the right path. Yes, I'm doing what I should be doing. Yes, I don't have any regrets. Yes, yes, yes. And you just want to rejoice. You want to be like, yay! Everything's working out and it feels so good. And then something will happen that will make you stumble. It might be a rock, it might be a pebble, it might be something big. But making sure that you always say, where's that sign? And look for it, whatever it is. If it's a bird, if it's a coin, if it's a number like I have, like this number 47. But getting to a place that you're like, oh my, I've got to be okay with me. My family might not like me. My family might not speak to me. I might not be they might not ever reach out to me. I might not be invited to their wedding, even though I've been sober for I don't know how many years. But that's not about me. We all try. I think that everybody tries their best every single solitary day. I don't think anybody wakes up in the morning going, I'm going to really screw a lot of people up today. That's my goal. That's my real goal today, is to screw people up. No, our goal is to do the best we can do. But when we have the disease, which alcoholism is, when it's a dis-ease, it goes on in our head, right? Our head, we bounce these things up and we just bring things up constantly of stuff that happened previously that we can't forget. But that's why it's so important to get somebody to talk to. Somebody you can really trust. And you can work through that. And you can say, I'm having this feeling. And for me, I've been able to do that for a really long time. And it's taken me, there's some things that were way down in my onion, way, way down, that I couldn't let go of until I was able to let go of. I needed somebody to die, actually, for me to get to that place that I was like, I'm okay with this now. I'm okay with this now. It takes so much time. It takes so much work to get to this place that I'm like, okay, what are my tools in my toolbox? I mean, I spend a good hour in the morning, not when I didn't do it last night, my first night here, and I was like, why didn't I do it? It's crazy, I should have done it. But anyway, I mean, I didn't do it this morning is what I'm trying to say. And I didn't do I did one halo thing. I didn't do two. Now I've done two as of now. I've got a couple more to listen to before I have to go out tonight. But what are your tools what are you going to? What are you picking up and saying, oh my gosh, this is what I'm going to use today to make me feel better so I don't feel so lonely and I don't feel so scared and I don't feel so lost and I don't feel so alone. Because I know what it feels like to be in an entire household with people and still feel alone. But when I started to build my relationship with my higher power, God, it's like made me realize I'm never alone. That's the lie in my head, that I'm alone. These signs allow me to say, oh my gosh, it's all going to be okay. It's all good. Everything's good, Elizabeth. Just relax. Take a deep breath. Let it go. This moment will pass. Wiggle your toes. And recently, I don't know why this has started to happen, but I've been thinking back to when I was a kid. I always loved The Wizard of Oz. I watched The Wizard of Oz, I think, like, I can't even tell you how many times I've watched The Wizard of Oz. But Glenda, the good witch, comes down, right? Glenda comes down, and she's got a bubble around her, right? Like a bubble you would, like bubble gum, a clear bubble around her. And she floats down. And she says, Dorothy, thank you for killing the witch. But I think if we all walked around with like a Glenda bubble around us, and we could be just happy in our little bubble, and don't let anything in that's going to get us off of our being. I understand that there will be times that you're like, I can't be on my bubble. I can't be in my bubble. I've got to be totally paying attention to what's going on. I get that too. And some days will be harder than others because you'll wake up maybe hungry, angry, lonely, tired. Those are totally realistic feelings you're going to have. And your bubble might get broken really easily. And you might hate that, which I do. It doesn't happen that often because I like to eat. I eat chocolate. No, it's not always the best thing to do, but I eat chocolate, drink a lot of water, walk, get outside, and then my bubble is pretty great. So it's hard to get me off the. But when I'm feeling hungry, angry, lonely, tired, when I feel like I'm going to let somebody down, when I'm late, oh my God, that's a big one for me. I hate being late, and I have to walk in someplace late, even though I do it all the time, even though I hate it. But that's when my bubble sometimes I'm like, ugh, why did I have to do that? I should have left earlier. Why is there so much traffic? Oh my gosh, why is there an accident? Just, everything that gets in your way when you're running late. You're just like, I hate this. It's just, life is so lifey, isn't it? But there are so many beautiful things. Being sober has been like literally the best thing I've ever done because I get to smile at people. I think having a relationship with God gives us the ability to smile more and gives us the ability to go, oh my gosh, this isn't so bad. I'm not having to do this life by myself. I had a great phone call today from somebody, my friend who's getting help, and I just was so grateful to God for that my friend is okay and getting help. Because I was so scared. And I know so many people get scared about something happening to their loved ones. And I really believe that fear and anger are they're melded. Like you would take your two fingers, your forefinger and your next finger, and you cross it over, and you've got so much fear, and you're like, I'm so much fear, but now I'm going to turn it into anger. I'm mad. But being mad does nothing. And hating our loved ones does nothing. You know what the biggest gift is? Forgiveness. Forgiving someone. Not being mad anymore. Not carrying around a big backpack of like, oh my gosh, I hate this person, I hate that person. I hate what happened to me. I understand hating what happened to you. I hate so many things that have happened to me. So many choices that I've made that I've hated. But I've grown from every one of them. Each and every one of the mistakes that I've made, I've learned from. Some are so painful. Some just are a blip. But we learn from them. It's when we don't learn from our mistakes is when we're insane, right? It's like when we do the same thing over and over and over and over again. That's when it gets hard. And you know, I think it's really hard sometimes to make friends, especially for women. I don't know why, but making friends with other women can be difficult. I don't know. Do we compare ourselves all the time? Is it like, oh, you've got this, or you're so lucky? If I hear one more time, you're so lucky. I'm like, I don't know what luck has to do with it. I think it's hard work. It's being tenacious. It's taking risks sometimes. It's going out there and doing something that you didn't want to do. That brings you joy. That brings you so many gifts. And when others look at you and say you're lucky, I just think that maybe they're envious or something. They're like, oh my gosh, she's like this. I mean, it's not luck. And Henry said to all of his friends, he's got a bunch of friends that are like going, you're so lucky, because he's moved around a bunch and taken opportunities that have been presented to him and moved to different places. He doesn't know anybody and just taken a chance. Not to be put a pun on that, Henry, chance, yeah. Anyway, got to do a little laughter there. But he's taken a chance and all of his friends are like, you're so lucky. He's like, Mom, why do they keep telling me I'm lucky? I'm not lucky. I just say yes. They ask me if I want to do something and I say yes. I'll go try a new experience. I'm only here once, right? And he tries these experiences, and from there he grows and he becomes like, it's amazing. It's amazing. And I understand that wanting to do the same things all the time because that's your comfort zone. But if your home is in your heart, you can go anywhere. Yes, there's the place that I have that I absolutely adore, which is my house that I live in majority of my life. But I do like to leave that house and have these adventures, because then I know that I can go back to that place. And it makes it even better when I walk in the door. You miss your dogs more. You miss for me, my husband, I miss him more. And, you know, we all get to, if you take this opportunity to step away, raise 10,000 feet on your life, you get to have so many gifts, just little ones, just taking a little vacation, just saying, I'm going to try something new. I'm going to do something different. And then I get to go home again. Having those roots are so important, I think, wherever they are. Maybe it's your parents' house. Maybe it's your grandparents' house. Maybe it's your own apartment. Maybe it's your own dorm room. Maybe it's your car. Whatever it is. I know for a long time it was my car. My car was like my safe place. I was like, if anybody took my car, I would have been like freaking out. I love my car. I'm like a total car person. I always have to have a place that I can get in my car and go if I need to. That was like that for many years. Many years. I could run away when I didn't feel comfortable. I'm like, I'm going to get in my car and I'm going to run away. Once you run away, it's like you always have to at some point say, I've got to settle down again. I'm settling down. I'm going to be 56 soon. It's crazy. And I finally have figured out, you know, I don't have to run away from my feelings anymore. I get to be grateful. I get to have opportunities. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? I think the worst thing already happened. Looking in the mirror when I was drunk and going, oh my God, what did I do? What did I say? Who did I hurt? That was like hell on earth. Being in active alcoholism, as much as these people think it's like a moral issue, literally the alcoholic, at least I did, I always felt so horrible. I always felt like, what did I do? Who did I hurt? Oh my gosh, I hate myself, I hate myself, I hate myself, I hate myself. That's the problem with the alcoholic. We normally hate ourselves and we can't get out of it. We can't stop. But when we do, we need to rejoice. Again, I've said this so many times on the podcast. It's not like people don't treat alcoholism like, oh my gosh, it's cancer, when it really is. It kills so many people. We need to open our hearts to the people that are battling this disease, and we don't need to poo-poo them. That's not the answer. So just have to give you a couple little things. I have a couple little things I just want to go over. One, I got to my Airbnb and there was a kegerator here. You might have heard me on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or wherever you go to watch your stuff. And you might have heard me, but it was so crazy. I got to this house and two of us are alcoholics in recovery, but there's a kegerator in the middle of the room. Do you think on Airbnb they should tell people what's in their house? Like this house has a bar and there's alcohol in it. Like, I think they need to tell people that. Why wouldn't they? Like, if you had a peanut allergy, they'd be like, well, we have peanuts all over our house. People need to start telling people when there's alcohol in a kegerator. That's a little weird. I didn't think that I was going to a frat house for my vacation. Kind of crazy. Ask questions before you make any, that's just what I just learned. Ask questions, what's there, what's around there, and make sure that it's safe for you. I've never done that before. And then the last thing I want to talk about. I've decided, after so much thought, I've always wanted to have a retreat. And if you guys know me who's listening, you've known I've like put flyers up on Instagram saying, do you want to come? And I've had people write to me, yes, I want to come. And I'm doing it now at the last weekend in February. And I want to get 10 women. Are you one of them? I want to go and be girlfriends. I want to go make real girlfriends. I want to go and sit down and open our hearts and let go of the judgment, sit around a fire, make s'mores, drink hot coffee, hot tea, or whatever we're going to have, and relax and just feel loved with women, like support each other. That's like what I want to do. I want to bring women together to love each other in a loving way, and not a judgmental way, and not a way that you're looking them up and down. And it doesn't matter what you wear. Just bring sweatpants. I don't even care, in a bathing suit and maybe a sundress. We're going to have it in Florida because everybody likes to get out of the cold at the end of February and come down to Florida. And 10 of us are just going to hang out and get to know each other and maybe do some fun games and relax and just talk. Because we just want somebody to listen to us, most of us. We just want to talk to people and relate and not feel so alone. Talk about being a mom. Talk about being single. Talk about dating. Talk about men. Talk about kids. Talk about not having kids, wanting to have kids, giving people love, unconditional love. That's what I want to have. This is all about unconditional love, this retreat I'm having with 10 people. So if you're one of those people who wants to join me, you've got to email me, because once I get 10, I'm done. I'm closing it off. So let me know if you're interested. And if you are, I'll hold your spot, because I'm going to go and I'm going to get a space. I'm almost positive where I want to have it, but I want to make sure I have the 10 people first. So if you're interested, let me know. If you have a friend that you think that might be interested, let me know. There's not going to be any drinking, so the people that don't drink can come. But if you are drinking, you just can't drink on this retreat. Sorry, you're going to have to give it up for 3 days. You'll get here on a Friday, and you'll go back on Sunday. Just quick, 2 nights. 2 nights just to get away and just come hang out with the girls, maybe talk a little bit about God, my favorite topic, and talk about just love, unconditional love. And it doesn't matter if you're Jewish or if you're Buddhist, whatever you are, just come and talk about love and share from your heart in the most safe environment ever. It's going to be very safe. Whatever happens on this retreat stays at this retreat. There's nothing that's going to be shared with anyone because it's nobody's business. If you come, it's going to be like Vegas. They used to have that ad, right? That they'd say, if you come to Vegas, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. What happens on this retreat stays on this retreat. And I hope from this retreat, you'll make friends that you can rely on when you're going through those hard times and the Glenda bubble breaks. And you can pick up the phone and call and say, my bubble just broke. My bubble just broke. And I need help. I want to get through this. And just doing life with somebody that you can trust is the best. It makes us stronger. It brings us together. That's the love. So loving, so loving. We all need love. We all need hugs. We all need acceptance. We all need a sense like it's okay, because lately, as we all know, it's been really dark, really scary, but it's time to put that aside and come together in love. Making the Glenda bubble. That's what I'm going to call it. Let's get a Glenda bubble. How are you going to have it? Come to the Glenda bubble. See if you like it. Okay, everybody. That's enough for me from today. I hope you like that I'm on twice a week. Let me know. Is it too much? Should I just be on once? I don't know. Will any of you write back to me? I hope you will. And until next time, everybody. Oh, by the way, excuse me. I came up to the Northeast and I'm starting to get a cough. Email me any questions. Please email me. You can email me either at Elizabeth, Elizabeth, at Elizabeth, Elizabeth, chance, chance.com, or you can email me at Elizabeth, Elizabeth, the letter L, and chance, chance, at gmail.com. And I'll reach out. I'll respond to any one of them. Okay? So everybody stay busy. Enjoy this week. Have a good one. I'll be back on Wednesday. And until then, keep getting busy.